Okay, ready to go.
Yeah, I'll call this meeting of the Board of Assessors to order for Monday, July 22nd, 2024. First order of business is approved minutes of prior meeting. And everybody take a moment to just look at July 1st minutes. Ready, I'll look to Mike Knight for.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Monday, July 22nd, 2024 meeting.
First, it's at the first, July 1st.
Oh, July 1st.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I just, they talked about opinions of whether they'd be valued at higher than single, but less than two. I guess I would just say that this is a new and different type of dwelling. It doesn't fit neatly into, it's not really a single family, but it's not quite a two family either, so. I guess the only thing I would say is, it's not, whether it's valued higher than a single, it might be actually, if you look at it on a purely square foot basis, in other words, would a 4,000 square foot single family home be valued more or less than a 3,000 square foot single family and 1,000 square foot ADU? I think that's unclear.
But I think the two words that I might remove here, just to correct it, just to change the minutes, is just the board discussed and take out their opinions. Discussed whether ADU properties would be valued at higher than single family, but less than a two family.
Okay.
So their opinions on, if we remove that. Is that acceptable?
Can you read the,
So the board discussed whether ADU properties would be valued at higher than a single family, but less than a two family, as opposed to their opinions on.
and I thought it was.
Well, I understand that, but that, so you're saying that our opinions would be validly discussed, but I don't know that our opinions necessarily of valuation haven't, I don't know that it has a bearing as to how the Commonwealth adjudicates or determines valuations of ADUs.
I don't think the Commonwealth has anything to do with this.
Yeah, it's really what the market evaluates.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
what an
Okay.
appraisal would say the market would value it at.
Right, but wouldn't,
Because you could easily see also where the presence of an ADU, like a swimming pool,
Mhm.
could be a big plus for probably a minority of people.
Mhm.
And a negative for maybe even a larger number of people, but like a lot of things, you know.
well, are we comfortable then leaving it as it is?
Okay.
I mean, it's,
All right, I'll leave it, but just, like I said, with the clarification, it's not that it's necessarily between a single and a two family, it's just different.
It's not as much as a solid two family, for sure.
Oh. Actually, I guess the way I would probably phrase it is whether ADU properties would be valued differently from single family and two family homes.
Differently works.
differently
Yeah.
than a single, okay, so take out at higher.
Make it differently from, or different, we can do differently
Right,
than,
valued
I don't mind,
differently.
even though technically, they say.
Differently than, okay. So we have a motion,
I'm sorry, differently than a single family, and what's the rest?
single family, but less than a two family.
Okay,
I would say differently than a single family or a two family.
Oh, or a two family.
okay,
Okay, so Mr. Knight, you would support your motion with the changes as indicated.
I support the motion.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Melissa, did you get those changes?
I do, thank you.
Okay. And next, new business, acknowledge members, there aren't any members of the public in attendance, public comment. Line. Discussion of revaluation process, any additional information on that?
We're continuing, I'm having discussions with our valuation company on regular basis. As the sales analysis continues, different items come up that analysis shows that we should look at, or at least explore different parameters. So we're doing that, and it's moving on.
Okay, so starting from the basics, the contract got signed.
The contract has not yet been
Oh,
signed.
it's still not signed, but they're working pursuant to an expectation that it will be.
Yes, the town issued a letter of intent to agree to a contract, so they agreed to work.
Yeah, they-
What is the holdup with the sign, with the signing?
It's between the company's attorneys and the town attorney.
Okay, all right.
Is it literally just a venue issue?
That was one of them, but there are others.
Okay.
You know, attorneys, they twist and
I mean,
turn and.
It could be other side. I can't believe the attorneys on the other side dispute venue here. I mean.
That was one of the items,
find
but
that
I,
to be very
Oh, they were
unusual.
disputing Massachusetts law?
Cause they're out of state company.
Yeah, but isn't it typically,
Typically, you'd expect it to be where the bulk of the
work
work
is
is
being
taking
done.
place.
Yeah.
But anyway, but I don't know, it's gotta be more than that, I can't believe that. Yeah, but
Okay, next item, review of DOR evaluation work plan.
we just updated it to reflect some different dates to project out, which I can supply you with a new plan if you like. We just did it on Friday, so, it hasn't really been a lot of time to put it together to present to you today.
is that in the system, like if I go into
It's
office?
actually, if you go into Gateway,
Yeah,
then you can see it there.
there is a tab, okay, because I have seen in the past a tab for work plan, but there was nothing that, I mean, it was early, so,
Yeah, it's
but there'll be things there.
there, it's filled out, it's up to date,
Oh, okay.
up to Friday, and the dates, as I said, we adjusted some of the dates due to the starting time,
Okay.
and some of the parameters, as far as the company information and initial, reviews. DOR does reviews throughout the process, so she asked, for instance, for a list of 100 and close to 200 properties that she's looking at in great detail, and so over the next few weeks or so, she'll be looking at those. And again, typically what happens, they look at those to verify the accuracy and the information that's there, and sometimes they spot some things that they have some questions on or might want to look further on.
Are those residential and commercial?
Right now, just residential.
Okay, and how is the list of 200 determined?
The DOR randomly selects some to look
So
at.
that she sends you a list of the properties that she wants to do.
Correct.
Information.
Yes,
Okay.
and it was primarily residential. There were some commercial as well.
These places that have sold in the last few years, or these just completely
It-
random?
Literally just a random selection.
Random selection.
It's this process is called a data quality study.
Right, right.
So it's really just select random properties, look at what information we have, and then she compares to resources they have. It's considered a desk audit. In other words, they use mapping software and various imaging programs, MLS data. They use data from different sources to verify what we have. And there
Yeah.
are some that have to be visited in person, so it's all part of that process.
So do they visit it in person?
This is this is
DOR.
the,
So we know the list of the properties that they've requested. Do we get to see, so do they come back and do they have it within their purview to make changes to assess values of that sampling, or that simply guides them as far as the overall application of how the assessing function can meet it? and how it's approached?
this phase, the data quality study is not about values so much as it's about the accuracy of the data that we have.
Okay,
So for instance, if we have a particular parcel as 1.5 stories, should be looking to see, is it 1.5 or is it 1 3/4? So, looking for consistency.
Yeah.
And if she finds any differences, then that may cause her to look at others to see if that's a consistent issue, if it was just unique to that particular parcel. We have close to 11,000 parcels in town, so in any city or town, it's not unusual that there are some minor errors to data, and that's really what they're looking at, is if the data that we have is within acceptable standards as far as accuracy.
And you would, in a previous meeting, you would discuss that one of the things that they were looking to us for is for the 2025 revaluation is to increase the valuation of land versus the inherent building, because land values, the piece of dirt that we all have that is actually worth more than what it has been, reasonably assessed at.
Mhm.
Will they be looking at that part of it as well as serving as a guide?
That is part of the process. Again, this phase with this selection is simply data quality and not values.
Mhm.
But the value part of it is what I'm working with the vendor on now. And so we are looking at the sales and looking how those sales affect the values and looking at whether those values are accurately represented to the whole.
So DOR will get back, will send you a summary of the work that they've done on the data analysis of the 200 properties, and then you'll be able to talk with us about it.
Yeah,
At some point.
she'll sign off on that at some point, whether it's acceptable as is, or whether, again, sometimes there'll be a directive that says over the next year or 2 years, I want you to look at X. Sometimes it'll be a request for more data, more parcels that might fit a particular criteria that she wants to look at in more detail. So that's just part of the process. And it works in parallel to other work that we're doing, because she's doing that on her own. And when I'm saying she, Rebecca Boucher is our DOR representative this year. So she's the one doing the analysis.
Okay. Next item, update on appraisal vendor contract.
So
That's the discussion of the revaluation process, that one's not signed yet.
correct.
Okay, any other business for open session?
The only other thing is that we have the Massachusetts Association of Assessing Officers annual school is coming up in August from the 12th to 15th. And I've registered to go to that. There's a series of sessions. It's called the specialty seminars that cover a wide range of subjects that keep us updated, so I'll be there.
Okay, we all got notices on the dues.
Yes,
Has that been those taken care of, or what do we do? I didn't do anything, I didn't communicate it back to you. I figured that they would communicate with the office anyway.
well, they don't anymore. They used to,
Okay,
in the last year, MAO has changed their policy. They used to send us a bill for all of the people that were members in the town. Now they bill the individuals, and the individuals have to submit those bills to us for payment.
Oh,
So
okay.
you would need to.
I don't know if I even still have it.
So you need to log into your MAO account and look at the invoice and
Yeah.
copy that and
You
send
got it,
it.
right?
I've been out of town I hadn't
Oh.
really been checking mine, so I'll look at it
Okay,
in the next day.
yeah, I think it was last week, it came,
Mhm.
and, okay, so we're just gonna get you that, I've got it in email at home.
Yeah, it's, I'm not sure why they did this. It's wildly unpopular that they've done it that way. It just makes it really clunky for every town to have to ask board members and employees to each go in and collect them.
Why can't the assessing department how many people are dues paying members of the organization? It's you, the three of us,
Mhm.
Nancy,
Nancy and Marie and Kyle, and
okay,
I believe Stan is as well.
okay,
So this, 8 of us.
okay. Can't somebody communicate back to the, the organization and just say, here, there's 8 people, these are the list of 8. And here's our payment.
We can't make a payment without an invoice. So we cannot issue or initiate a payment to anyone without an invoice, and the invoices are now individually sent to each member. So each member has to go in and get their invoice and forward it to us for payment. And it's, as I said, it's a really clunky method. No one really understands why they chose to do it that way. After some 50 years of doing it the other way. And it's not just a case of, I've always done it this way. It's a case of, this is just an inefficient way to do it. So,
Okay, so we need to get, MAAO something.
it's maao.org, and you should have a login
Yep.
for your account.
Yeah.
And when you go in there, you should be able to access your profile. And on your profile, there is a tab for
Nobody's got their computer, mine is going really slow.
Maybe there was a Microsoft edition.
Yeah,
Michael, he didn't notice it because you were out of the country.
No, I heard about it.
You're out?
Well, I don't see the link to it at the moment, but I can send you a link to tell you.
I've got it in my email, so I'll just send you what they
Okay.
sent me.
oh, they sent it via email?
Yeah.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I probably haven't.
Okay, so, next we'll go into executive session
Yes,
to comply with the provisions of any general or special law, specifically to discuss real estate and personal property exemption and or abatement applications which are not open to public inspection. Comply with the provisions of any general or special law, specifically to discuss returns of property held for charitable purposes which are not open to public inspection. Or to discuss strategy with respect to litigation from open meeting and the detrimental effect of the government's litigating position. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Mike?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay, we're in executive session.